Hello and welcome to the Module 4 overview video for EDT 672, Creating and Integrating Technology in the Classroom. In this module, we'll be talking about content management systems, some of their characteristics, benefits, and features, and how they can be used in your instruction as a teacher. Let's begin by talking about what a CMS is, or Content Management System. Content management system for the purposes of this course is defined as an online software platform that can be used to create, manage, and host course content for your students in K-12 and higher ed. So we'll be focusing on K-12 obviously for you, but content management systems are also very common and very popular in the higher ed arena for hosting course content. As a matter of fact, you are using a content management system right now. You're using Blackboard, which is a very common content management system used in higher ed. Let's talk about some typical or common content management systems. The three most common ones that you'll see in K-12 are Blackboard, Moodle, and Google Sites. And Blackboard is what we're using now. Blackboard is a fee-based service. It requires a subscription. It has a cost, but is a very robust and reliable program. It's been around for a long time, and it's used by many schools and institutions. Moodle is an open source program, which open source means that there is no cost for it. It's developed by the community of programmers, and it's available for schools to download and install on their own servers at no cost. It's also available on various sites as a hosted product, which means for a small fee, a school can pay somebody to host the software and manage it and maintain it for them. Both Blackboard and Moodle are very, very robust, have a long history, have been around for a long time, and very stable products, and are well suited for the K-12 arena. A relative newcomer to the content management system area is Google Sites, which is part of the whole Google suite of tools, Google Drive, Google Apps, etc. And Google Sites is really a way for teachers at no cost to create sites for their courses where they can post and manage content for their students. So those are three of the most common ones. There are many, many others, some designed specifically for education, some that are used for corporate training, but there's certainly many to choose from, and those are the three most common that you'll be seeing in K-12. So let's talk a little bit about the characteristics of a content management system. What are some of the features? First and most obvious is a CMS is an online software product. So it is accessed using a web browser from any computer with internet access or any device with internet access. Content management systems are available typically 24/7 with the exception of maintenance periods, but they're available anytime, anywhere, which makes them ideal for training across national or international boundaries and across long distances. Typically, CMSs allow for shared authorship, so if there's a teacher teaching a class, that teacher can share privileges with another teacher or a teaching assistant or a teaching aide who can also manage the class so that it's not all the responsibility of one person. CMSs are platform neutral. Because they are web-based applications and they run in a web browser, they can be accessed on a PC desktop or PC laptop, a Mac desktop, a Mac laptop, Android tablet or phone, or an Apple tablet or phone, or a Windows tablet or phone. They really can be accessed from any device. Aside from the issue of screen size, they work really on any device with an internet connection and a browser. And finally, they have many of them are focused on the education arena. So they're focused on being used for K-12 or higher ed for instruction, and as such they have modules or tools that are used by teachers very commonly, such as discussion boards, file drop boxes, and class grade books. So let's talk really briefly about how a CMS works. This is not a technical training, but I just want you to have a very brief sense of the architecture behind the website that you log into. So the CMS has two main components. It has the website, which is the front end, which is what you see, and then it has behind it a hosted application or database that stores the content. Typically, that's sort of the brains of the operation. That's where you are putting your data and your content, and the website is sort of a very simple front end that's accessed by the user. And there's really three areas I want you to think about. So the site visitor, which is you as a student or your students, accesses the CMS through the website. So the site visitor logs onto a website and is delivered the course content. When that happens, the site visitor is really passing through the website and accessing the database, which has all the content that you as the editor have posted. There are also rights for other editors and technical administrators, but that's really the three main components: the role of the site visitor, the role of the editor, which is you as a teacher, and the application that kind of runs it all. So what are some of the benefits of a CMS? The CMSs have been around for a long time, and they've gotten much more advanced in recent years, and they do offer many, many benefits that are worth considering for you as a teacher. And the most common one is the use of CMS to deliver flipped learning. And flipped learning has become a bit trendy lately, and it's really nothing that radical. It's quite simple. This is flipped learning is what we're doing right now. So you are watching a video that's delivering you some background knowledge before we meet in class tomorrow, and that's all that flipped learning is. It's a way for me to deliver some information to you using a web platform before class, so I don't take up time in class, and then when we get to class, you will be working on some higher level activities. So a content management system allows you to do that in a really simple and effective manner. CMS is great if you have students that are absent a lot or traveling or sick. They can log on to the CMS and make up any missed work and follow along with what the class is doing. Also great for parents who want to stay involved and informed about what's happening in their child's class. CMS allows them to log on and see what's happening. CMS can be used for distance learning. In the past, we used video conferencing software, which was very expensive and cumbersome. And then more recently, we've switched to things like Google Hangouts and Skype. But a CMS can also be used in a much simpler way without the need for video cameras and TVs and monitors to deliver course content over great distances. And this is especially useful for rural areas without access to schools or facilities. So long as they have one computer with internet access, they can access the content. And certainly it's a great way for you as a teacher to organize your class materials. You can use a CMS even if you don't use it as a way to deliver content online. You can use it just for yourself in your classroom as a way to organize your classes and to show students materials in class. And finally, it's a very useful way to ensure continuity. For example, if you think you're going to be taking a leave of absence or you might be out sick, you can put all your content into a CMS, and then someone can just pick up for you and carry on where you left off. So that's an overview of some of the features and description and benefits of a CMS. What you're going to do now is a couple of things before we meet face-to-face, and then some things in class. First thing I want you to do is review the Project 1 rubric and description. That's what we'll be starting in class. And that is the use of a CMS in particular with a differentiated unit. So take a look at that and review it so you're prepared to discuss it and work on it in class. Also want to make sure that you have been able to log into either Blackboard or Moodle. I do recommend that you use Blackboard. I think it's just simpler and a nicer interface, but if you have a preference for Moodle, that's fine. There's also a link to a trial version, a 30-day trial of Moodle on the course site. You're going to set up your course framework in class, but you should be prepared with the content. So you need to have sort of a layout of the unit that you're going to be posting in the CMS in class. And in class, you're going to begin to create that unit for Project 1, and I will work with you to get that set up and get that going. And then you will follow up both in class and on your own to complete that project.